Okay, class, hello. Good afternoon. Today we're going to be covering lesson 29 as a review. So let's cover some of those principles real quickly. Lesson 29 deals with words ending in L, E, EL, AL, and IL. So all words ending in LE, you come back L. Okay, final L because it's a word ending. So like the word handle, you're going to write HAND, come back L. Handle. You've got bristle. It ends in an LE. Bris, come back, final L. Okay? And then you have ZLE, but it's still the LE. So you have dazzle, daz, come back L. Okay? And then you have angle, words ending in GLE, and come back, final L. And then you have battle, words ending in TLE, bat, come back, final L. And then you have hassle, has, come back, final L. And then you have AXLE, so XLE, axle, you have ax, come back, final L. And then you have for words ending in CLE or KLE, use final L as a separate stroke if the K for final C fits on the previous stroke. So buckle, you write buck, come back L. Chuckle, chuck, come back L. Circle, circ, come back L. And then you have tackle, tack, come back L. And then at the bottom there, it says use K, initial K, final L as a separate stroke if the K doesn't fit or isn't sounded on the previous stroke. So you have barnacle, and it's going to be barn, come back call. Barn, KL. Okay? You have clavicle, clav, come back KL. And then you have spectacle, spectacle. And you can use the initial K on that one and then with the final L. Okay, so just make sure that you know those. And then going on to page 160, you have some more words. Sorry, 190. You have, for words ending in PLE, use final L as a separate stroke, even though M will fit on the same stroke. So PL is an M, so you're going to write couple, cup, come back L, and then you have cripple, crip, come back L, scruple, scroop, come back L, okay? And then in the middle there, it says this avoids many potential conflicts with words ending in final M stroked PL. So apple, you're going to write app, come back L. And that way it doesn't conflict with am. You have maple, mape, come back L. And then ripple, rip, come back L. Okay? Triple, trip, come back L. So you're avoiding any conflicts there. And then it says, as with the CLE endings, P, initial P, final L is used when the P doesn't fit on the previous stroke. So multiple, you can write malt and then PL. Okay, so we're using the initial P and then the final L. Okay, so that's a little different there. And then you have principle, principles of law, Prince, PL. Okay, and then it says for words ending in FLE, write FL on the end of a stroke if it fits. So baffle, BAFL, and then you've got muffle, MUFL, and then trifle, trifle, one stroke. Okay. So FLE equals FL. For words ending in BLE, able, ibble, whether it's spelled with an ABL or an IBL, write BL on the end of the stroke if it fits. So able, I am able to go, it's always elongate BL. Feeble, you can get that in one stroke, fee and then BL. You've got table, T elongate BL. Double, DUBL. It also works if you put DOUBL. Double and then double. Okay, they both come out. So with the OU and without the OU, just with the U. You have eligible, so we have to get in both strokes. So you write L and then jubble. And then you write durable, one stroke, D long URBL, durable. Terrible, TERBL. And then favorable, fave, and then one stroke, favorable. That's why these finger exercises help. if you do them, because some of these odd strokes, you can bend your fingers a little bit better. Horrible, H-O-R-B-L, horrible. There's no word such as hoshel, so it's horrible. Look at it on RBL and not shol, okay? And then it says, if the BL will not fit on the same stroke, write BL as a separate stroke. So you can leave the BL by itself. So you have like the word audible. You got to get the first sound, odd, and then BL, okay? Fumble, fum, come back BL. Rumble, rum, come back BL. Suitable, suit, come back BL. You've got peaceable, peace, come back BL. Okay? Any questions on anything there, Jen? No? No? Okay. And then going on to 191, let me just cover a couple of little briefs that I like on the word exercise. Probable is probable, P-R-O-B-L. Probably, you add the E. And then you've got reasonable. So reasonable comes from reason, R-N. Reasonable, add the L. Reasonable doubt, LD. Okay, lots of words. So reason, RN, reasonable, RNL, reasonable doubt, put the reasonable and then the D's for doubt. That's going to come out a lot on your jury charges. And then you have over on page 192, words ending in a consonant plus EL are written as follows. So remember, EL is not LE. This is different. So all these under the first section there, B, can be written in one stroke. So you have gavel, you have duffel, you have barrel, you have funnel, you have tunnel, one stroke, okay? For words ending in PEL, use final P, come back EL, or PEL, even though final M will fit on the same stroke. This avoids potential conflicts with words ending in final M, okay? So you have the word chapel. So you're gonna write chap, and then, or I'm sorry, chapel, okay? Okay, and then you have dispel, dispel. You have motel, motel. You have easel, ease, come back EL. Parcel, parse, come back EL. Okay? Under C, for words ending in a consonant plus AL are written as follows. So betrayal, it says you can generally add an L to represent the AL if it fits in the stroke and the AL syllable is not accented. So all of these words are not accented, so we can shorten it up. So you have loyal, royal, oval, rival, moral. You have oral. So if I said morale, it's going to be more-rel. No? Moral. I'm thinking more-rel. Moral. And the morale was low. More. I'm thinking rel. I'll look that up right now. And then you've got plural. And then you've got final. Journal. Okay. And then if, this is real important, all the bottom of page 192, it says, if the L doesn't fit on the same stroke, or if the AL syllable is accented, break the word according to sound. So you have animal, just animal. You have rental, rental. You have rascal, rascal. And then vandal, vandal. Optical, optical. Okay, so you don't have to sound all those out. Going over to page 193. You have, at the very top, do not end a word with the stroke L. This stroke only, or asterisk L, this stroke only is used to begin a word. Break the word after the vowel or double the consonant if necessary. So you have canal, canal. You have decal, D and then cal. Technical, technical, Does technical work? Yes, technical, you can just do it in 2 strokes. You have fatal, fatal, bridal, sorry, focal, focal, and then global. You can actually write, no, you can't. Oh, you can. Global, you can write in 1 stroke, you all. GL longo BL. Okay, you can write global in 1 stroke. And then you have total, total. Okay, and then in the middle there it says words ending in TIONAL are written GS for the show and then null, null. So you've got fictional, fiction you write it first and then null. You've got intentional, intention, null. You've got optional, optional, and then D, words ending in a consonant plus IL are written as follows. So you can write civil in 1 stroke, devil, evil, sterile, okay? And then some sound-alikes, y'all. You've got to really take advantage of the spelling on your sound-alikes. So we have the council meeting, so you're going to write council. Counsel, the lawyer, KONL. So make sure you know how to write the different ways, okay, on those 2. And then you have docile, docile, agile, or agile, okay? And then you've got sound-alikes. Look at all of those, take advantage of how they're spelled. You've got, so remember, counsel in your book says it's 2 strokes, you can write KOUNL, okay? And then you've got peril, like trouble, peril. And then you've got pearl. I think they sound alike. Or they sound different. Actually, I hear pearl and then peril. So it's a little different on that one. And then you have moral, and there's morale. So it says you can write morale, moral, M-O-R-L, morale, M-O-R-A-L. Okay? Ral, morale. So know how to write those. And then metal, M-E-T-T-A-L. And then metal, meddlesome, met, come back L. So take advantage of the spelling on those sound-alikes, okay? These are real important. Principal, as in cash or principal of a school. Prince, pal. And then you've got prince, and then pull for law, principles of law. Okay? And then you have word exercise on 29-2. So some words that I really like. Personal. Person is P-E-R-N, add the L and it's personal. Personnel, person, now. Okay? N-E-L, 2 strokes. So you have to differentiate how to write those. And then legal is on there. So legal is L long E-L. Legal. So let me give you a word that just came to mind. Paralegal is pleal. P is for the para, and then legal is L long E-L. So that's a good one. And then you have juvenile, J long U-V and L. Okay, juvenile, that's a brief. And then you have company, K-P-A-E-N, conduct, K-U-K-T, hospital, H-O-P-T. Let me give you a brief for in the hospital is N-O-P-T, in the hospital. So in, think of T-P-H for in, the, I don't know, hospital, H-O-P-T, in the hospital. Office, A-U-F-S. So what do you think officer is if A-U-F-S is office? Jen? How would you write officer?
A-U-F-R, or no, that's offer.
I think it's officer with an S though. Yeah, A-U-F-R with an S, all of it. So office, A-U-F-S, officer at the R. Okay? And so you're going to hear that a lot. You have because of the, because of is B-A-U-F, of the, add the T. Who was, W-H-O-F-S, who was. And then you've got some sentence exercises, and then chairperson, just 2 strokes, chair and then pern. And then it's 1 word. You have manager is MG. So you have manager is MG. So let's say they say, there's some briefs for, I can't, it's not coming to me right now, but manager is MG, okay? MG. So what I'll do now is I'll dictate some of these words, all from lesson 29. Put commas if you can in between. And I'm going to start dictating from your homework sheet, okay? Ask me if you don't know how to stroke it, Jen. Here we go. You all find a focal point. Marginal. Irresponsible. Susceptible. Throttle. Rational. Sequential. Communicable. Durable. Crinkled. Hospital. Codicil. Infidels. Enjoyable. Weasel. Maternal. Juvenile. Accidental. Terrible. Vigil. Disgruntled. Damsel. Noodles. Heckled. Debatable. Internal. So let me give you real quickly. Internal is written like that. Internal Revenue Service, SPWEFRB. Internal Revenue. If it's Internal Revenue Service, add the S. Okay. You've got capital, like a capital offense. Typical. Gullible. Channel. Stencil. Chisel. Hotel. Paternal. Particles. Devil. Tackle. Excitable. Preferable. Multiple. Bugle. Intolerable. Terrible. Plausible. Believable. Practical. General. Compatible. Any questions there, Jen?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. And so this next group will be for readback, okay? So mark your notes. Heckled. Noodles. Damsel. Disgruntled. Vigil. Terrible. Accidental. Juvenile. Maternal. Ventricle. Weasel. Enjoyable. Compatible. General. Practical. Believable. Plausible. Terrible. Intolerable. Bugle. Multiply. Preferable. Excitable. Tackle. And whenever you're ready, Jen.
Okay. Okay, heckle, noodle, damsel, disgruntled, vigil, terrible, intentional, or
Okay, tell me your stroke.
I have SPWENT come back L.
Okay, accident. So accident is dent.
Oh.
S-dent. So
Okay,
accidental,
probably
you
what I
put the
should-
NL.
Juvenile,
Mm-hmm. I
maternal.
think there's another easier way to write juvenile. Yeah, so this might be easier, J long U V L, because you don't have to put the N. So J long U V L. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Juvenile.
Ventricle.
Okay, maternal, ventricle.
Okay. Weasel,
Uh-huh.
enjoyable, compatible, general, practical, believable, plausible, terrible, intolerable, bugle, multiply,
Multiple.
excitable, and tackle.
Okay. Multiple, preferable, excitable. And what was the last one?
Tackle?
Tackle. Good. Any questions, Jen, on any of those words? No?
I don't think so.
Okay. And so these will be some of the sentences from your homework sheet, not at any particular speed, okay? Here we go. You also find a focal point. Let me give you some words that come out. You have, I don't have. I don't have is written Y-O-F. Y-O. Think of the Y-O for Y for I, O for don't, the second letter in don't. Have is always an F in a phrase. And then you have marriageable, obnoxious, nostril, nonchalance, dangling, remarkable, solution, reasonable, have you ever, have, S-R-U-F-R. That comes out a lot. So if we said, have you ever had, S-U-F-R-D. Okay, those are really good. And you can always go back and look at this. And so this isn't at any speed, okay, Jen? Any questions on any of those words?
No.
Okay, remember, do you know how to write remark? Remark?
I do R-E back M-A-R-K.
Okay. Actually, it's R for re and then arc. Okay, remark is rark, and then you can just come back BL. Rarkable. Okay? And this is going to be at no speed. Find a focal point. Here we go. The only places where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. The clairvoyant viewed evil and devils with total nonchalance. Don't leave your particles dangling. Falling hundreds of feet into the gorge, we found the mountain stream to be very remarkable. We'll find a workable solution. Is it reasonable to expect that my $9.15 is refundable? Have you ever tried Pickle Pig's Knuckles? Their capital gains last year were $6,925,000. Anything there? Jen?
I don't think so.
Was that hard?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it a little slower then. Okay, just one more time slower. And I'm going to start with the first sentence. The only places where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. The clairvoyant viewed evil and devils with total nonchalance. Don't leave your particles dangling. Falling hundreds of feet into the gorge, we found the mountain stream to be very remarkable. We'll find a workable solution. Is it reasonable to expect that my $9.15 is refundable? Have you ever tried Pickled Pig's Knuckles? Their capital gains last year were $6,925,000. Anything there, Jen?
No.
No? Okay. And so what we'll do now is some assignments, some sentences. Okay. And this is all from lesson 29, you all. And here we go. Let me give you some words that come out. You have court reporter. Do you know the brief for that, Jen?
No.
Okay, so court reporter is KR. So let me just give you court report. Court, think of report is RORT. Put a K in front of it and it's court report. So court reporter is KR long OERT. And you want to know that because they're always saying the court reporter can read it back or please speak up for the court reporter. Okay, and then so court reporter is court. And then audible, mumble, ankle, physician is FGS, physician. And then you have laughable, federal. Federal is written FRAL, F-R-A-L is federal. You have gerbil, gerbil, J sound, gerbil. You have municipal, flowers, professional, P-R-O-F-L, professional. You have, these might be a little tough, okay? And some of them are actually your sentences, so from your words, okay? So this is gonna be 70, 80, 90. And I'll start at 70. The court reporter asked the lawyer, please speak in an audible voice and don't mumble. In math, yesterday we were forced to learn the principle of multiple integrals. The only places left where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The beagle became entangled in a battle with the poodle next door. Because of the damage to the spinal cord, he's in the local hospital. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. Didn't the physician believe that the patient's condition was both operable and curable? The disheveled artist brought his easel, camel hair brushes, and a set of pastels. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. Federal and municipal offices are housed in that colossal, dismal building. Anything there?
Municipal?
You know, I have a brief, but I don't know if you all do. Let me see. MUP? No. So you write municipal. 3 strokes. Anything else?
No.
Okay. And this will be at 80. The court reporter asked the lawyer, please speak in an audible voice and don't mumble. In math yesterday, we were forced to learn the principle of multiple integrals. The only places left where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The beagle became entangled in a battle with the poodle next door. Because of the damage to the spinal cord, he's in the local hospital. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. Didn't the physician believe that the patient's condition was both operable and curable? The disheveled artist brought his easel, camel hair brushes, and a set of pastels. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. Federal and municipal offices are housed in that colossal, dismal building. Anything there, Jen?
I don't think so.
Okay, so marriage is M-A-R-J, N long A-R-J, so marriageable, just write marriage and then B-L. Okay, marriageable. And then spinal is just one word, spinal, one stroke. And then damage is D-A-J, daj. And then you have hospital, H-O-P-T. You have laughable. I can write that in one stroke. No? Laugh. Oh, sorry. Yeah. L-A-F-B-L. And this will be at 90. The court reporter asked the lawyer, please speak in an audible voice and don't mumble. In math yesterday, we were forced to learn the principle of multiple integrals. The only places left where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The beagle became entangled in a battle with the poodle next door. Because of the damage to the spinal cord, he's in the local hospital. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. Didn't the physician believe that the patient's condition was both operable and curable? The disheveled artist brought his easel, camel hair brushes, and a set of pastels. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. Federal and municipal offices are housed in that colossal, dismal building. And so let me tell you real quickly, anything, Jen?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so operable, you all, just write operable, two strokes. Operable. And then you have curable, one stroke. Okay? And this will be for read back at 70 and 80. The court reporter asked the lawyer, please speak in an audible voice and don't mumble. In math yesterday, we were forced to learn the principle of multiple integrals. The only places left where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two. The beagle became entangled in a battle with the poodle next door. Because of the damage to the spinal cord, he's in the local hospital. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril. Didn't the physician believe that the patient's condition was both operable and curable? The disheveled artist brought his easel, camel hair brushes, and a set of pastels. She grumbled that finding an eligible, marriageable man was laughable. Whenever you're ready, Jen.
Okay.
And I'll tell you as I switch the speeds.
Okay. Let's scroll up.
And I started at 70.
Okay. The court reporter asked the lawyer, please speak in an audible voice. And I have
And
continued.
don't.
Oh, don't mumble. In math yesterday, we were forced to learn the principle of multiple integrals. The only places left where I don't have a wrinkle are my clavicle, right ankle, and maybe a cuticle or two.
Mm-hmm.
The beagle became entangled in a battle with the poodle next door. Because of the damage to the spinal cord, he's in the local hospital. The obnoxious pupil had stuck a pencil up his nostril.
Good. And this is where it's 80.
Is it didn't?
Didn't.
The physician believed that the patient's condition was both operable and curable. The disheveled artist brought his easel, camel hair brushes, and a set of pastels. She grumbled that finding a eligible, marriageable man was laughable.
Good. Good. Okay, very good. Any questions, Jen?
No.
Okay, and so real quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover some question and answer. So, Jen, do you know how to write question?
It's the left bank?
Right. So the entire left bank is your question. And so you've got the entire left bank, okay? Remember, you don't have to do punctuation. So left bank is your question, right bank is your answer. Question, answer, question, answer. And so what I'm going to do today is focus a little bit on that. That is tough. And so I want you all to get familiar to listening to it because throughout your schooling, that's actually the fastest test you have in every class. It's 225 words a minute, your state test. So it's always the fastest, okay? And if you think about it, it's actually easy. It's just we don't, I don't know, you're having to think a little bit more, but you don't include any punctuation. So I'll actually start at 70 words a minute. I'm going to actually say question and answer. We're not supposed to, but usually we'll have two people in here dictating with me, but I just want to get used to you hearing question, answer, question, and you just put question, answer, whatever the question and answer are. Do not worry about the punctuation, okay? So let me give you some words that come out. Help, remember, December. Do you have? How much? Alcohol. Alcohol is KHOL. You have sleep hotel. Afternoon is AFRN. You have yourself. YOUR. coming up? You have. Figure it out right now. You have. Is it coming out for you, Jen? Are you stroking it a certain way?
Which one?
Yourself.
No, I'm not sure.
Okay, let me look it up. And so remember, I'm going to say question, answer, okay? I'm going to start at 70 words a minute. Let me just look up yourself. Any questions on anything I asked there, Jen?
No.
Okay, because I know yourself is a brief. Oh, it's Y-O-U-R-S with an asterisk. Okay, so think of it of your is your, and then S for self. And here we go. Here we go, Jen. I'm going to mute you, okay, because there's some sound coming in.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. 70 words a minute. Question. Does that help you remember what you were doing the day of December the 9th? Answer, no. Question. Do you have any idea how much alcohol you may have consumed while you were at the Sleep Hotel for the afternoon and evening? Answer, no. Question, you just left the Sleep Hotel when that happened? Answer, yes. Question, were you coming directly from there? Answer, yes. Question, were you by yourself? Answer, yes. Question, had anyone else been with you that evening or afternoon? Answer, no. Question, I mean, other than the people at the bar were friends of yours or just people that you met there? Question, had you been to that bar before? Answer, yes. Question, you knew people, the bartender? Answer, I knew her name. Yes. Question, how often had you gone to that bar? Answer, several times. Question, so that hotel is new now, isn't it? Answer, yes. Question, have you been back in there since? Any questions, Jen? Just a minute. And so remember, do not include your punctuation. It will actually recognize it. Sorry, Jen, any questions?
No.
Okay, and this is going to be at 80. Remember, in the next speed class, your test Q&A is actually at 100, okay? So this is 80. Question, does that help you remember what you were doing the day of December the 9th? Answer, no. Question, do you have any idea how much alcohol you may have consumed while you were at the Sleep Hotel for the afternoon and evening? Answer, no. Question, you just left the Sleep Hotel when that happened? Answer, yes. Question, were you coming directly from there? Answer, yes. Question, were you by yourself? Answer, yes. Question, Had anyone else been with you that evening or afternoon? Answer, no. Question, I mean, other than the people at the bar were friends of yours or just people that you met there? Answer, no, just people I met there. Question, had you been to that bar before? Answer, yes. Question, you knew people, the bartender? Answer, I knew her name, yes. Question, how often had you gone to that bar? Answer, several times. Question, so that hotel is new now, isn't it? Answer, yes. Question, have you been back in there since this day, since December 9th? Answer, yes. Question, are the people at the bar the same ones that were? Anything there, Jen? No? And I'll give you a couple of words, you all. How often, I think, is H-O-U-F-N? Yes. How often? You're going to hear that a lot. H-O-U-F-N. Have you been? S-U-B? Yeah. S-R-U-B. You have anyone else? Anyone is N-I and then else, L-S. N-I-N-L-S for anyone else. I think that happened. Yes, that happened. T-H-A for that happened in the phrase is P-D. And that would be at 90. Okay, 90 words a minute. Anything, Jeff?
No.
Okay. Question, 90 words a minute. Question, does that help you remember what you were doing the day of December the 9th? Answer, no. Question, do you have any idea how much alcohol you may have consumed while you were at the Sleep Hotel for the afternoon and evening? Answer, no. Question, you just left the Sleep Hotel when that happened? Answer, yes. Question, were you coming directly from there? Answer, yes. Question, were you by yourself? Answer, yes. Question, had anyone else been with you that evening or afternoon? Answer, no. Question, I mean, other than the people at the bar were friends of yours or just people that you met there? Answer, no, just people I met there. Question, had you been to that bar before? Answer, yes. Question, you knew people, the bartender? Answer, I knew her name, yes. Question, how often had you gone to that bar? Answer, several times. Question, so that hotel is new now, isn't it? Answer, yes. Question, have you been back in there since this day, since December 9th? Answer, yes. Question, are the people at the bar the same ones that were there before? Answer, I went back New Year's Eve and didn't go to the bar. There was another party there. Question, have you been back? Okay, and so that concludes your Q&A, you all. I'm not going to make you read that back. I really want you all to start listening to some more Q&A. I know we cover a lot of lit, but Q&A, jury charts are all important. Okay? Any questions, Jim?
No.
Okay, so that concludes our lesson for today. Tomorrow we'll reconvene, okay? Have a good day, Jen.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.